Little Jaden claps like a rag doll right at the feet of a royal guardsman. The crowd froze. Rules are rules, right? But when a child's life is on the line, what matters more, tradition or humanity? What happened next shocked everyone. Let's start from the beginning. Look, 8-year-old Jaden isn't just any kid. He's the kind of boy who'd make your heart clench with a single look. Blonde hair, eyes like he's already seen too much of the world. Yeah, life's been tough. He's got cancer, stage 4, the big scary one, and every single day feels like it might be his last. But Jaden? He's not the type to sit around and feel sorry for himself, no way. He's got one dream, to see the Royal Guards in London. Those guys in red coats and those giant fuzzy hats. Yeah, them. His mom, Sarah, knows the clock's ticking. Fast. So what does she do? She books tickets to London, first-class dreams, even if the reality feels like coach. The plane ride isn't exactly magical. Jaden's pale, exhausted from the journey, but he's holding on like a trooper. His tiny hand clutches Sarah's, fingers shaking slightly. Outside the taxi window, the sprawling streets of London flash by like scenes from a movie. Jaden presses his forehead to the glass, mesmerized. Everything looks so big. Castles, towering buildings, and streets buzzing with life. Sarah can't help glancing at him every few seconds. She's got that look all moms get when they're trying to stay strong, cheeks tight, but her eyes are soft, protective. She finally speaks up, her voice gentle but full of concern. Jaden, honey, are you sure you're feeling okay? We can rest first if you need to. Jaden doesn't hesitate. He's been waiting for this moment for too long. No, Mom, I want to see them today. Please, I'll be fine, I promise. He's putting on a brave face, but Sarah can tell he's running on fumes. Still, she nods and smiles, because what else can she do? This is his moment. When they finally arrive at Buckingham Palace, the scene is straight out of a postcard. Tourists are swarming like ants at a picnic, cameras flashing everywhere, and there they are, the Royal Guards, tall, stone-faced, decked out in those bright red uniforms with their iconic black bearskin hats. They stand like statues, unflinching, no matter how many people snap photos or shout at them. Jaden's eyes widen. It's like he's just met superheroes. He grips his mom's hand tighter and takes a few steps forward, practically vibrating with excitement. But then something shifts. His smile fades. His legs wobble like someone just yanked all the strength out of him. Sarah notices too late. Mom, I feel... Before he can finish, his knees buckle. He collapses like a rag doll, his face going ghost white. One second he's standing, the next he's sprawled out on the cold, hard pavement. Jaden! Sarah screams, her voice cracking with panic. She drops to her knees, frantically shaking him. Baby, wake up! Please, wake up! The crowd freezes. A wave of silence crashes over the palace gates. Even the usual tourist chatter dies out. All eyes lock on the scene, unfolding before them. People start whispering, but no one moves to help. Instead, phones come out. Because of course they do. 100 tiny screens light up, capturing every agonizing second. And then there's him, the guard, standing just a few feet away, eyes straight ahead, face emotionless. He's trained to stay like that. No blinking, no moving, no reacting. It's protocol. Royal Guards do not break formation, ever. But this isn't some tourist prank. This is a kid, a sick kid, unconscious at his feet. The tension is suffocating. What's he gonna do? Everyone's watching, waiting. Some guy fumbles his camera and the clattering sound echoes like a gunshot in the quiet. Sarah's sobs fill the air as she keeps trying to wake Jaden. Please, somebody help him! And then, something changes. Just a flicker at first. The guard's eyes narrow ever so slightly. His jaw tightens. You wouldn't notice unless you were really paying attention, but the crowd does. Is he going to move? Someone whispers, their voice barely audible over the growing murmur of onlookers. For a moment, time itself seems to pause. Then, in a move that sends shockwaves through the crowd, the guard shifts. One slow, deliberate step forward. It's like watching a statue come to life. Gasps ripple through the onlookers. He's breaking protocol, a tourist mutters, eyes wide with disbelief. They're not supposed to do that. But the guard doesn't care about the rules right now. He kneels beside Jaden, his movements measured but steady. His gaze finally softens as he looks at the boy lying helpless on the ground. The crowd can't believe it. Neither can Sarah. For the first time in what feels like forever, she sees a glimmer of hope. This guard just made a choice, one that could cost him everything. But at this moment, that's the last thing on his mind. The guard moves. Not a flinch, not a slight adjustment. He drops to one knee. The gasps from the crowd hit like a domino effect. Murmurs ripple through the tourists like wildfire. This is not supposed to happen. Royal guards are famous for being immovable, untouchable. You could probably set off fireworks in front of them, and they wouldn't blink. Yet here he is, kneeling before an unconscious boy. Is this real? He's breaking protocol, someone whispers, their phone already recording. Dude, he's so getting fired for this, another voice mutters in awe. The guard doesn't react to any of it. His face is as stone cold as ever, but his actions speak louder than any rule book. He reaches out and checks Jaden's pulse, his fingers steady. Inside, though, he's in chaos. He knows the stakes. Breaking protocol isn't a slap on the wrist, it's career-ending. This could be the moment that shatters everything he's worked for. But right now, none of that matters, not when a kid's life is on the line. Clang, clang, clang. The sound of military boots on pavement echoes through the palace grounds. Heads turn as an officer strides into view. He's tall, rigid, and about as friendly-looking as a tax audit. His glare is icy enough to freeze water on the spot. "Soldier, get back in formation," the officer snaps, his voice sharp as a knife. The guard doesn't move. He doesn't even look up. He's too busy focusing on Jaden. The crowd falls dead silent, hanging onto every second like it's a live TV drama. The tension is thick. You could probably cut it with a spoon. "Soldier, that's an order," the officer barks again, his jaw tightening. Still nothing. The guard keeps his composure, but you can almost feel the storm brewing inside him. He knows he's crossing a line he can't uncross. Yet, when he glances up and locks eyes with Sarah, something shifts. Her face is a portrait of pure desperation, tears streaming down, hands trembling as she clasps Jaden's tiny, limp hand. Please help him. I can't lose him. I just can't." Sarah's voice cracks, her words barely audible through her sobs. The guard's resolve solidifies in that moment. He stands up, slowly, deliberately, and carefully lifts Jaden into his arms. The kid feels weightless, like holding a bundle of twigs. He ignores the officer entirely, as though the man shouting orders behind him is just background noise. "Soldier, you don't understand what you're doing. You're violating protocol. You'll face serious consequences for this," the officer yells, his voice growing more frantic. Finally, the guard speaks. It's low, steady, and unshakable. Protocol doesn't save children. The words hit like a punch to the gut. For a second, even the officer seems stunned. He opens his mouth to argue but doesn't know how to respond. Meanwhile, the crowd is buzzing. Phones are still pointed at the scene, recording every second. You can almost hear the captions being written in real time. "Royal Guard breaks tradition to save boy's life." Some tourists have already started posting clips online. One woman's voice is caught on a recording. "Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this. He's a hero, look at him." With Sarah rushing beside him, the guard strides through the palace gates. His steps are firm, as though he's marching into battle. Ahead, a small medical building comes into view. Relief washes over Sarah as she spots uniformed paramedics waiting near the entrance. "Thank you. Oh my God, thank you," she whispers, her voice shaky but full of gratitude. The guard doesn't respond. He's too focused on getting Jaden to safety. They reach the medical team, and Sarah collapses into a chair, her legs giving out beneath her. She watches as the paramedics carefully take Jaden from the guard's arms and place him on a stretcher. They check his vitals and begin administering emergency care. Sarah covers her mouth, trying to stifle a sob. The fear is still there, gnawing at her insides, but at least now there's hope. The guard, meanwhile, stands off to the side, his expression unreadable. His job might be on the line, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. Behind them, the crowd remains outside the gates, refusing to leave. They're glued to the moment, some still live streaming, others talking in hushed tones. One young man shouts over the buzz of conversation. Dude, this is going viral. I'm telling you, by tomorrow morning, everybody's going to know about this. And he's right. This isn't just a breach of protocol anymore. It's history in the making. Something extraordinary happened here today, and the world is about to hear every last detail. Inside the medical building, paramedics rush to stabilize Jaden. Oxygen mask, vitals, monitors. It's a blur of movement and tension. Sarah stands frozen, her heart racing as doctors confirm the boy's condition. He's stable but critical. He needs to be hospitalized immediately, a doctor informs her. Relief and fear crash together in Sarah's mind. Jaden is alive, but far from safe. She turns to the guard, her voice trembling. You saved my son. I don't even know how to thank you. The guard nods silently, his face unreadable. Without a word, he turns and walks away, knowing full well that a disciplinary storm is brewing. He broke protocol, and the consequences won't be pretty. But right now, he doesn't care. Outside, the crowd is still buzzing. Videos of the guard's act have gone viral in hours. Hashtags like #RoyalGuardHero and #SaveJaden explode. Comments flood in. Legend status unlocked. If this guy gets fired, we riot. Public outcry builds fast. News outlets pick up the story, while Sarah becomes the voice of a movement. Days later, she's on national TV, recounting the event with raw emotion. He didn't hesitate. He saved my boy, knowing the risks, she says, her voice firm. He deserves recognition, not punishment. Her plea resonates. Under mounting pressure, the palace reconsiders. The guard keeps his job and gains a medal for valor. Meanwhile, Jaden recovers slowly but steadily in a hospital bed surrounded by gifts from strangers. One afternoon, he spots his guard on TV during an awards ceremony. His eyes widen, and a big smile spreads across his face. Mom, look, it's him! Sarah smiles softly. Yes, honey, that's your hero. Weeks later, at a public event in Jaden's honor, the guard stands tall in full uniform. The crowd cheers as Sarah hugs him tightly. Thank you, she whispers, her voice full of gratitude. Jaden steps forward and looks up at the man who saved him. You're my hero, he says softly. The guard offers a rare smile. You're tougher than you think, kid. Keep fighting. The crowd erupts into applause. Rules were broken. But today, everyone understands why. Sometimes, saving a life is the only rule that matters. How would you have acted in his place? Do you think breaking the rules to save a life is justified? Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you or someone you know ever faced a similar situation? Don't forget to leave a like and share the story to spread awareness. This story was created to shed light on important issues and inspire kindness in the world. Remember, your opinion matters. Together, we can make a difference.